Heya Cryptozens, tonight's show, Voyager Asset Auction, and should Roche Freedman be disqualified from cases? It's 10 p.m. Pacific, and the date is September 7th, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nikodemus, and I'll be your host. The cover model, mascot, and co-host for this podcast is Tex, and together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. As I've identified before, I am a Voyager customer. So keep in mind, that's the lens I'm looking through as we talk about Voyager. And keep in mind, Voyager rejected a deal earlier this year. FTX made an offer to them after they filed for bankruptcy. And FTX said that they were willing to buy all of Voyager Digital's assets and digital asset loans. That is, except for the loans that Three Arrows Capital defaulted on, of course. They said FTX's offer just wasn't good enough, that Voyager felt FTX was lowballing them, and so they summarily rejected the offer. Voyager claimed at the time that they had received multiple offers, that multiple non-disclosure agreements had been signed with potential buyers. So, the auction was originally scheduled to be last week, on the 29th of August. Well, that deadline for offers was extended from August 26th until yesterday, September 6th. And so, according to the latest filing, the actual auction itself will happen on September 30th. It's going to be held at the offices of Voyager's bankers, Moelis & Company. And there's going to be another hearing on the 29th of September to determine the results of that auction. Now, I haven't heard who has submitted offers. Potential buyers have not been identified as yet. Sam Bankman-Fried's previous offer submitted through FTX was made known publicly. And while Voyager rejected FTX's initial offering, it's entirely possible that they've resubmitted. Now, reportedly, Binance is also interested in buying Voyager's assets. Actually, reportedly, 22 parties were interested, that they'd been in meaningful discussions to place a bid. This was as of early August. That's according to the legal team. Now, there's no way to know yet if any of those 22 have submitted proposals by yesterday's deadline, but those 22 investors have gone through due diligence and shown interest in bidding. It remains to be seen how many of those actually did so. Voyager put out a tweet today. They said that they've received multiple bids in the auction. Maybe some of those are from that 22. Remember, in August, Voyager Digital identified a group of employees as key employees. Voyager said that these people are integral to keeping the lights on, and so they got permission to pay those key employees bonuses. Investors were certainly making their objections known, but nevertheless, the judge approved bonuses to be paid out in the total of $1.9 million. On the other side of that, Voyager has taken steps to make at least some of their customers whole. On August 5th, the New York Bankruptcy Court handling the case approved another proposal, and we covered this at the time, just like the entire Voyager saga. At that point, the court approved a plan that saw the return of $270 million to affected customers. But in that case, they're not returning money for lost crypto. No, this is actual cash that was sitting on Voyager's platform. It was money put in a hands-off account at the Metropolitan Commercial Bank. Beyond that, there's another $1 billion or so remaining on the platform. Voyager has ID'd those funds as belonging to the bankruptcy estate. That means it's going to be dispersed among the creditors. Now, if you're a Voyager customer, like I am, you should have gotten some emails from them by now, listing the type and the amount of crypto in that Voyager account. If you don't agree what they have on record for you, you have until October 3rd to submit a claim. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $975 billion. That's up 2.91%, so that's solid gains over yesterday. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin up 2.4%, Ethereum up 4.41%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin up 6.15%. The global NFT market cap is up 6.11%. According to CoinMarketCap, the top 5 NFT collections by sales volume are Utes Mint Tubes, followed by CryptoPunks, Otherdeed, Clonex, and Bored Apes. Now keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. Remember Kyle Roche? He was that lawyer at the heart of an alleged scandal, allegedly suing people to get access to sensitive information through the process of discovery. That guy. So Kyle Roche is the founding member at Roche Freedman, and they were recently accused of filing frivolous class action lawsuits. Why? So they can acquire the object of their suit to produce a bunch of stuff during discovery. Discovery is the part of a case that happens in pre-trial. Unlike what you see in a lot of lawyer shows, most of the time there are no stunning revelations. Both sides know what evidence each side intends to bring to trial. Now, why would they want this? It's things like emails and strategy notes, customer lists, investor lists, contractual agreements, and confidential information that could prove useful to competitors. So they'd file discovery on all this stuff, and then they pass on the dirt to their friends. Who are their friends? Allegedly, Ava Labs and their CEO, Emin Gün Sirer. They're the team behind Avalanche. Now, for his part, Sirer dismissed the piece as conspiracy theory nonsense. His words. And why were they allegedly doing this work for Ava Labs? Money. Greed. Roche got a pile of Avalanche and a 1% stake. And who's the opposition? Who broke the story? A self-styled whistleblower site called CryptoLeaks. They broke the story in a report that they published on their website. And in that report, they said, quote, "We can reveal that the pact directs Roche Freedman and their leader, Kyle Roche, to 1. Use the American legal system, gangster style, to attack and harm crypto organizations and projects that might compete with Ava Labs or Avalanche in some way. 2. Sue crypto industry actors generally with the aim of creating magnets for regulators such as the SEC and CFTC that distract them from highly commercial nature of Ava Labs and the Avalanche blockchain. And 3. Secretly pursue Emin Gün Sirer's personal vendettas against individuals." As we like to do on this show, let's take a look at the numbers. At the time of writing, Avalanche is number 16 in terms of market cap, just behind Tron and just ahead of Ethereum Classic. Like everyone else, Avalanche's price is massively depressed in part due to the macro conditions. That said, on August 28th, their price tanked massively, dropping from a high of around $23 down to $17.90 apiece. And that was when the news broke. So it was an 11% drop in 24 hours. Don't get me wrong, the market was in pain at that time, but Bitcoin and Ethereum and other major cryptocurrencies only fell like 1 to 5% during that same time frame. So now what? What's going on? It's been a little while, but shortly after the story broke, Roche filed to withdraw as counsel in a bunch of class action lawsuits. The very same type of lawsuit he's accused of filing to gather dirt on the companies and then pass those along to Ava Labs. Tron and Global Trading is one of those suits. Tether and Bitfinex Crypto is another one. The law firm Roche Freedman said, quote, "Roche would withdraw as one of the attorneys for the proposed class. Mr. Roche is no longer involved in RF's class action practice." And this case with Tether is just heating up because Tether and Bitfinex want Roche Freedman gone, terminated as counsel for that lawsuit. Elliot Greenfield is from the firm Debvois and Plumpton LLC. They're representing defendants Tether and Bitfinex, and they want the whole firm removed from the case, so not just Kyle. Now, it's Roche Freedman's position that the case can go on without Kyle involved in the case. Shouldn't be a problem. The defendants disagree. Not only do they want Roche Freedman removed from the case, they want more. They want the law firm to certify that they have either destroyed or returned all the documents that the defendants handed over during discovery. And they want assurances that they haven't shared those documents outside of Ava Labs. Now, Greenfield points to the CryptoLeaks website as far as justification for the filing, that they have serious concerns that Roche, quote, may be abusing the discovery process and misusing information he learns through litigation. He uses Roche's words against him a bit here. He said, quote, he states that he is Ava Labs' crypto expert because he sues half the companies in the space and knows where this market is going because he has seen the insides of every single crypto company. Greenfield says that the concerns are relevant here. He alleges Roche Freedman, quote, has served a number of document requests seeking information that has no apparent link to the claims and defenses in this lawsuit. Now, as we've said, Roche has filed to remove himself from the case. And that's kind of a proposal that a judge looks at very carefully. They need to make sure that the client isn't going to be hurt by this sudden change in representation. Greenfield doesn't see that as an area of concern here. He points out that the clients would be served by, quote, two other large and experienced firms, including Selendi Gay Ellsberg PLLC and Schneider Wallace Cotero Konecki. And just by removing himself as counsel, that's not enough for Greenfield. He just doesn't feel like it does much to prevent the potential misuse of discovery. He said, quote, even if he is no longer counsel of record, he would still have access to discovery materials, would retain the ability to direct conduct of other attorneys at his firm, and would profit from any potential recovery in this lawsuit. And it's not just Greenfield. Kirby McNerney and Radis Law Firm also represent plaintiffs in this case. They also filed a request that Roche Freedman be removed from the case. This case, initiated in 2019, alleges that Tether and Bitfinex manipulated the crypto market by issuing unbacked Tether. Now, Kirby and Radis, they're also concerned how Roche's presence will affect the case. They're concerned Roche Freedman would distract the court. They said, quote, to avoid a sideshow about the adequacy of counsel or the motives and use of litigation and discovery, a new leadership structure is necessary. So Roche Freedman isn't taking this sitting down. They've submitted a response on Tuesday. In that response, they called the filing to have them removed a, quote, extraordinary remedy based on the recordings of a single lawyer who has since sworn those statements were false or misinterpreted. The firm also took appropriate steps to avoid any appearance of impropriety. They say that it's not necessary to remove them. They claim that they've, quote, screened him from the case and that he won't receive any of the proceeds from the case. I could be wrong. I often am, but I would expect the judge to grant the removal. There's a few reasons for that. One, over the last few days, Roche has also withdrawn from the Binance, Solana, Tron, BitMEX, Nexo, and Dfinity lawsuits. So that looks kind of bad. But there's another, bigger reason. Further arguing that the firm's disqualification will benefit other movants, they also say the, quote, 5 named plaintiffs who actually retain the firm stand to lose the most if deprived of their counsel of choice. And I think we're going to call it there for tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. Take care of yourselves, but take care of each other too. We'll see you tomorrow night.